Hey everybody, and welcome to the J and K Show. This is your Monday edition. We're recapping all of those horseshit Sunday games. Yes, we're in a bad mood, and we're going to bring it here to you guys. We got to get it out of our body, so this is how we got to do it. This is the way it's got to be. As you can see, Jay has a lot of emotions. He has, including the fact that he's going to lose picks. He didn't get either one right that we had different yesterday, so he is a dying raven. We'll hint at that a little bit later. All right. We'll start off with the reason that we're pissed off. The Indianapolis Colts. My deal here is Colts fumble opportunity. We absolutely did. Everyone saw. There's really no reason to make any arguments. Jay, what was your takes or things that you need to say?
I I was like probably hundreds of thousands of other people yesterday. Very emotional guy. Um, a bit maybe unreasonable. But
Maybe just a smidge.
at the same time, I was ready to just have Steichen leave AD Mitchell in the locker room in LA and just boot his ass and still have a little bit of that going on in the head right now. I think a lot of us are. But at
Yeah.
the same time, you realize this kid's barely 22 years old. He's a young guy.
He's gonna be 23 next week, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. So you can't shit on him too much, but I'm going to a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he may be the reason that I don't feel the greatest today, but two crucial mistakes that could have swung that game, and we could have won it easy with even with some of the other mental errors. I mean, Colts were that was their worst looking game that they have had so far this year.
All around.
Penalties,
Yeah.
bonehead mistakes, just things that we don't normally do and we haven't done. Jones with two picks, although they weren't horrible. He was going for a shots that were there, but the Rams made good plays on the ball. But just things that weren't just clicking yesterday like they had been so far this year.
My take on his interceptions was that he committed the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
He gave it too much air. He threw left in like a high arcing way, and he never looked the safety off. He really made it easy on Curl to take both interceptions. Maybe in that situation he thinks that there's going to be like a jump ball and like it probably can be competed with, and so it's a 50-50 ball, but there's actually two Rams guys, so really that's more of a 33 ball. Oh, I don't really like those plays. He had
Yeah.
enough time, and I wish that his second one, he did not feel like rushed to make a play. Like that was the first moment you saw him force something because of the situation. And I hope that he goes back and looks at the tape to see, my goodness, I can stay middle field. I shouldn't have done that. Like we had time, we could have definitely got down the field.
Yeah, I think that first pick, I think they were just going to try to send a message like we're not afraid. We're going to go deep on you.
Yeah,
We're here. This is what we're going to
yeah,
do.
maybe.
And I didn't hate it. Like you said, Curl made a really good play. Um, the second pick was definitely desperation. We have to move and we have to get down the field quick. And I
Yeah.
didn't hate it. I mean, I wish he would have kind of given himself another beat and just thrown it to Taylor. Taylor was on a delay right in the middle of the field. He had a lot of grass ahead of him. Maybe we
You
were
got to
low
be
on time.
open to
Yeah, you
take the
want to.
check downs if they get
Yeah,
really open. You
yeah.
have to
We
make
had we
sure to
had
pay
timeouts.
attention to that.
We were good,
And
but
yeah, there was some
you know,
middle
I
of the
get it.
field stuff
Also,
you can make
you got to
somebody
make a
miss.
chunk play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I can't hate it too much, but again, we just had too many self-inflicted wounds.
Hmm.
But I still hold out a lot of hope for what's to come this season. I mean, if we can go to, play in the Rams house and give them that kind of a game and we look that much like shit,
Hmm.
then we can beat anybody as long as we play our good brand of football. And
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
not too worried. Not too worried. We we go 3-1 in the first four. I think anybody would look at that and take it.
Yeah.
So we're not dead yet. We're in a tight race with Jacksonville, but
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like it's a two team race right now, at least.
Yeah, I circling back to Mitchell. I understand. Obviously, we feel most fans would probably say he was going to celebrate, and I get it. He was going to celebrate, but if you think for Jonathan Taylor last season, his celebration was dropping the ball too early, and I
Yeah.
think that matters to some degree. Whereas AD Mitchell was just switching to his other hand so that he could put it out here to do something. And he really did just make a mistake, like actually drop it. He didn't intend to drop it. Whereas Jonathan Taylor did intend to drop it, and he did it
Yeah.
a little bit too early. So I feel like that's a factor for Mitchell. The other
Yeah.
part, people are killing him on the hold. We had 11 penalties. It could have easily have been somebody else. It just happens to be AD on that play. The reality is we could have had a false start on Quentin Nelson. We could have had a hold on Ryman. We had a lot of penalties in that game. So
Yeah.
killing AD on Mitchell on that, it's like, yeah, you're the guy that held on that play. But they could have called it on anyone else. There could have been another hold that they just didn't see, but they called AD Mitchell's. I get the frustration, but yeah, he's so young. And the play he made on that ball to get to the spot to make that mistake on
Amazing.
accident, it was an amazing catch. He has shown you that he is starting to rise. He was our leading receiver in the game. So we have got to pump the brakes a little bit. Did we miss Alec Pierce? You bet your ass we did.
Oh, yeah.
Did we miss Kenny Moore? You bet your ass we did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So those two scenarios, you have Xavier Howard getting picked on by Puka Nakua, who's maybe the best receiver in the game. He may be. He's very consistent. He's making an argument.
Oh, yeah.
You
You
know,
got to start thinking about that, too. I mean, he may be, if you're thinking about it honestly and you're giving it severe thought, you may have to even consider putting him above Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, like as the number one guy. Nobody is stopping him.
I know that it looks silly, or you're like, oh, well, these guys are so electric and they're so amazing. But it's like, well, hold on a second. The Rams created another Cooper Kupp, and that says something, right? This dude is amazing. He can catch the ball in any kind of route tree and turn it into a positive play. And he was a difficult matchup for us. Now, I'd come from that game looking at everything that happened, the interceptions, the penalties, the fumble, the costly holding for JT's touchdown. And I look at all those and I'm like, we could have won the game in a numerous amount of ways. Like one of those things not happening, we could have possibly won the game. I look at that and I say, you know what? We beat ourselves, and that does suck sometimes. You don't want to do that, but we would have won had we not beat ourselves. And that gives me some kind of hope of we're still trending in the right direction. We're not just like going to fall apart.
Yeah, you know you're not going to go undefeated. So
Yeah,
you're going to drop some. You're going to drop some games. And if you're a Colts fan and you were looking at this game when the schedule came out, you're probably looking at it like we're going to get our doors blown off in that game.
Before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the Rams are, for whatever reason, it's either the Rams. I don't think we've beaten the Rams. I think I heard them say yesterday since 2010. And
each time we play that division, 2 of the 4 beat our ass.
Yeah, all the time. We usually play well against the top teams in the division, and then we drop against the shittier teams. Yeah. So, I mean, Matt Stafford's been picking us apart almost his entire career. Mm-hmm. So he's always done really good against us. He likes playing us. He threw for over 300 yards yesterday.
Yeah, a good game. I mean,
yeah, and I just want to say real quick, a lot of people that are trashing Cam Bynum on that Tutu Atwell bomb, you can't blame him. You cannot blame Cam Bynum for that. It was all Blackman tripped himself up, and we only had 10 dudes on the field. So
that's exactly what I was about to say.
Get off Cam Bynum's nuts. He's been playing really well for us this year. He's been doing a bang-up job. I'm still happy to have him. Leave the dude alone.
He was guarding I would call him the Y receiver on the other side, who was possibly going to go middle. So he did not cover that side of the field for that moment because there was supposed to be a man on him, and he tripped. Yeah. Also, there might have supposed to have been
another. Blackman had 2 left cleats on. That was hilarious.
Right. And honestly, they might have thought that Kenny Moe was out there because there was literally a guy short. Lou Anaramo was probably like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kenny Moe's out. Wait, Kenny Moe ain't out there.
Kenny Moe, where you at, buddy?
Where Kenny? Kenny, where you at? So So that's just one of those things. We're not stopping that play with 10 guys and a
Oh,
guy
hell no.
trips. That's 9 guys. We're not
Yeah, you're
stopping that
automatically
play
down
with.
to 9. You're not doing it.
So it sucks, but we still could have went down the field. I mean, we put ourselves in a bad spot. I believe we were up 20-13, and it's just one of those things. I didn't really have anything else. I will say we had a good turnover ratio to start the year, and we lost it yesterday 3-1. You're usually going
Yep.
to lose a game that way. And like I said, I look at it and I'm like, we lost by 7. The way we lost, there was a lot of spots you could have pointed to and be like, well, if we would have fixed any of them, we might have still had an overtime play or something. So it happens, you know?
Yeah. It was just not our day. It just
Yeah.
one of those games where you cannot do the right thing. Even when you do the right thing, you do something wrong. And
Yeah.
it just seemed like that was the story of our day. And I, again, after having, a couple of hours and a little bit of a sleep to kind of think about it, it's like I still like where we are. Am I pissed? Yeah, we could be 4-0, and I feel bad that we're still not going to be in the hierarchy. But
Darn.
like we said last week, even if we go to LA and we drop the game, as long as we're competitive, we should still. I mean, the rest of the league is still going to look at that and be on notice because they can look at it and say, well, look, the Colts uncharacteristically committed 11 or 12 penalties. They had the fumble out of the back of the end zone, and they had the really bad holding call on a long touchdown run. The game could have easily been 34-27. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at it with some hope. The Rams, maybe they don't look as good as everybody thought they were. I think they're
Yeah.
a top 3 or 4 team in the NFC for sure. Yeah, we definitely beat ourselves.
Yep. I agree. I'm proud of you. You
Yeah,
know, yesterday there was a lot of people talking about cut his ass,
cut
leave
his
him in
ass.
LA.
Practice squad.
And I thought, man, we are not going to be that fan base. You know, there's a lot of fan
Yeah,
bases out there that be doing that, and I don't want to be one of those fan bases because that shit's annoying. It's
yeah.
not Russell Wilson who's been playing 15 years. This kid's
Hmm.
second year.
Yeah,
Give him a little bit of a break. You can tell this year that he is more comfortable than he was, and the way he acted after
yeah.
those mistakes, he
Been
looked
there.
like he wanted to throw himself off the bus later when it was moving. Like, give me
Yeah,
a break. He wanted to
yeah,
just disappear.
yeah.
So
He looked like,
I give him.
yeah, he definitely looked like he was going to head for the LA Hills and just go to a cliff and just, he wanted
Zaire
to.
was
And I felt
Zaire was
bad.
trying to talk to him. He was trying to. It's okay, man. Like, we're gonna get him. You're gonna get him. You're gonna be the guy to get him. And he's just like devastated.
Yeah,
And I'm
leave
like,
me
I'm
alone.
not gonna kill this guy. He's killing himself. He's
Yeah,
already dead. I ain't got to do it. Like, it's
yeah.
okay.
You don't, you won't want to beat a dead horse even further into death. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't do it. And then seeing how he was on the sideline right after the fumble, it was like, okay, he knows he messed up. And then
Yep.
going right out there on the next drive and just, see him walking around in circles, moping. It's like, dude, as bad as a mistake as it was, you
Yeah.
have to let it go and you have to forget it. You have to have
And
that quarterback mentality of, I'm still going to throw the ball. I'm still going to go
yeah.
out for routes. I'm going to still make a catch. I could make a game changing play. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think he was in his own head too. And maybe that's why he wasn't thinking clearly and he ended up committing that hold. But I don't want to beat on the kid too much. I like him on the team, but he definitely needs he's going to need some therapy this week.
By the way I see it too, man, and the way the talent, you hear about it in camp, and he's the type of receiver that just wins one-on-ones with corners.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing it a lot because we have a lot of depth at receiver, which is really awesome. But I mean, 2 words: Quentin Johnston. When
Yep.
you look and see what he's doing for the Chargers, just pump the brakes, be patient, Colts fans. I am telling you, one day he's just going to sprout and he's going to be a game player. Like, he's going to just, you're not going to be able to stop him. He has the ability. You can just see that raw instinct. And
Yeah.
the next time he has a touchdown, he's probably going to cradle it like a baby.
Oh, he's going to hold
That
it all the way to the sideline. It's that ball is his.
and he's going to take it home because I believe that was going to be his first touchdown of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to, that moment's going to change his mentality. And he's going to spend the week hopefully not going too hard and hurting himself or anything. He's just going to be cerebrally focused, and he's going to come out and he may get our first touchdown of the drive. A lot of times teams really like to feed a guy to get him right over that hump. Done, over with, right over that hump. So we may score very first touchdown. It could be to Adonai, and it's one of those moments of like, let's get back on track. So
definitely going to need that. Maybe Shane will put a big old couch in his office or something for him to lay on and get it all out this week and get those demons out of his body.
Right. All right. Let's move on to the game in Ireland, you said?
Ireland.
It was in R.
Ah.
Now,
yes.
I do
Dublin, Ireland. Not Ireland. Berlin, Ireland, or Dublin, Germany.
I found something out. Not game related. It was pre-game. We had some riffraff jump Mr. Skylar Thompson before the game and mug him.
Ooh.
He suffered minor injuries. So to the riffraff, the Dublin, Ireland, you fucking suck. So fuck you.
Yeah. Horseshit.
And good luck to Ireland now. The NFL may not fucking go back there. So
they may not want to go back there because of that. But
there's that.
I'm sure there's reasons, and there's if you look at it, there's some stuff going on over there. So
he was jaywalking.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, I mean, overseas, man, that's the kind of stuff you got to put up with at times. They don't know how to act when they get the NFL.
From what I've heard, Ireland folk are pretty happy to have the NFL and get really happy, and that's not something they would do. And that's all I will say. The Ireland folk would not have done something like that. So anyway, we now go to Minnesota. We now go to the Minnesota Steeler game. I put winces. He winced, bud.
Yep. He came and went.
He came. What'd you see?
Kenneth Gainwell. That's all I saw.
You were right about that. That's all I
saw, dude. Yeah.
You were right.
You said Jaylen Warren being a surprise scratch there kind of helped his cause,
but he
got that run game.
First and second down, which is what you were saying. Turns out last game he had all three. But you said first and second, and I think he just proved that. He is going to be first and second down.
He is now. I mean, I don't even think they're going to remember who Caleb Johnson is.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. He's having
poor guy, year, Caleb. We know you can do it, bud.
I know. He's one of those tough Iowa guys that you feel bad for him for making a really big mistake. But that's going back to AD, man. It's just like I don't want that to screw up his entire flow. I don't want to give up on him. I don't want to keep him out of stuff. He needs to be involved still. But we've already discussed that, so we'll move on from there. But Gainwell, man, I mean, he was the guy. I mean, he was outside of a DK bomb. He was that entire offense the whole time. He was running, get like 5 or 6 yards a carry, plenty of catches. Consistent. Man, he was just a problem.
The Steelers did exactly what we told them to do. Work on some run zone blocking schemes, hand the ball off, and not force Rodgers to throw a bunch. I believe he only threw somewhere in the 20s, which is fantastic.
That's what you want him to do. An older quarterback, absolutely. You don't want him throwing 30 or 40 times.
No.
Shit, his arm will fucking go with the ball.
I thought early in that game that Ramsey kind of got ripped off. I know that the guy, he's out of bounds, he touched it. It's like, I get it. It's the right call. But man, some guy touching the ball while he's got his toes out of bounds and you just took off with it and scored a touchdown. I'm just like, that's kind of shitty. But he shouldn't have faked a hamstring because I guess he got one later in the game.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
Not giving yourself bad juju just right off the bat for no reason. Don't do that. Hold the ball all the way into the end zone and don't fake injuries.
Yes, correct. Are we getting this, people?
Yes.
The DK slant was awesome.
Man.
That was some that brought me back to Fitzgerald, man.
Oh,
in
God,
that game, in the Super Bowl.
Well,
and it's like DK runs so fast.
Ooh. Yeah. You got Fitzgerald on some roids for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like DK is like 5 Fitzies, but when you see a man, his
He's 10
size,
Brittany Grinders.
oh, oh,
Oh, we're starting off hot today.
dude,
Whoops.
let's keep it kid friendly, would you?
All right, yeah, we got it.
But no, anytime you see a big dude coming at you with that force, you don't want to get in front of him. What if you're the Vikings on that play? They're happy to chase him. They don't want to be in front of him though, because he might kill you.
Follow the leader.
But follow him. Just make an effort. Make it look good on tape, like you're trying. It's like, hey, why don't you get on the field and try to catch Metcalf? Bitch can't do it. But what I did like on that play though, when they were going down the field, is the interaction between Rodgers and Tomlin. I like to see that. Things are going really, really good, and I think. I think Rodgers deserves it a little bit. Tomlin deserves it a little bit. People have been on his ass, whether you agree with him and his outlook and views on life or not.
Yeah.
The last couple years, to have the first year in the Jets taken away from him, and the last year it was just they were giving up anyway. And Tomlin having people up his ass, and he's been as successful as he has been. I think this is just kind of a middle finger to all the doubters and the people who were shitting on them in the preseason. And I like to see it. I like Aaron Rodgers. I don't agree with him on every single little thing, but I like watching him play football. He's a funny guy. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, me too. I was pretty like, you know what? Hey, Pittsburgh, you guys look pretty good. Who did not look pretty good, I thought, was Minnesota's offensive line. They made it interesting, but Wentz was sacked 6 times. He was under some relentless pressure, and I think back to like JJ McCarthy when he was playing Atlanta and stuff. It's the offensive line has consistently allowed some hellacious pass rush, I feel, so far, even though they have been awesome on defense and have masked that clear problem. You're going to have to block better to get some good quarterback play. Wentz did his damnedest, but you just kind of felt like the Steelers defense was cooking too much for them to do anything. When you take the Ramsey touchdown off, and they come back late, it makes it look like the game was closer than it actually was. The Steelers were like 75% of that game pretty much throttling Minnesota, I thought.
Yeah, up until that fourth quarter, man, when Addison got away.
Yeah.
I mean, it was grim looking right there, but then he gets that bomb and they're able to get within 3. It's like, oh, you're puckering a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Minnesota made it look like it was stealable. I will credit them that looked like they could steal it.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Steelers.
Oh, it was intended, you dirty bastard. You know it was.
Terrible. I had the Pittsburgh, what I thought they screwed up. The 4th and goal with Gainwell, that was a really bad run. I mean, it had 0 chance, and it was kind of far away. The blocking went so terribly on that run block. It was
bad execution for sure. I like the call. I don't want to go for 3 right there.
No.
I want to go maybe for a short pass or QB sneak or run play like they called. It was just bad execution. That way, even if you don't get in the end zone, they have to go 98, 99 yards. I don't hate the call, but I think it was the right thing to do. It was just poorly executed. And I think one of the only poorly executed run plays they had at all. I mean, other than that, they were guaranteed to get 6 yards almost every time he got the ball.
That's kind of what I thought. I'm like, wow, you picked a bad moment to shit on yourselves on the run block because you had done so good the whole game. But they totally shit the bed on that. And I was like, whoa, they might have just screwed up because Minnesota was trying to come back. I was like kind of watching for a minute, like, are we going to see them literally lose the game late? Like, they've controlled the whole game. But Steelers, COD, they come in and they took care of business.
Yep. They got tired of hearing me saying that they're not the same Steelers defense. So I'll take complete credit for it.
Yeah, ever since I said something, the defense has been on fire. They had to have it happen too. I mean, now they're looking at it, they're 3-1. And what we thought 2 weeks ago, people started to get real nervous. It's like, okay, Steelers are a player. They're going to be in the hunt for sure.
Yeah.
This is a Mike Tomlin team. Of course,
Yeah.
they're going to be in the hunt.
If you don't, if you don't get it this year when Baltimore is at the bottom of the barrel like they are right now, it's like your only time to do it. I mean, everybody else in that division is down.
In this division, it is definitely Steelers are in the front runner right now. We will definitely be interested to see what it looks like playing the Ravens. If the Ravens are still healthy, we'll get to that. We'll see how those two games play out, obviously, because that might be for the division.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. The next game I have is Penix responds. And this was that flip 'em game that I told you I did not like. McLaurin missing the game. I felt like they were not going to get the ball downfield. To their credit, they actually got Luke McCaffrey the ball downfield. They got
Who in
Deebo
the hell is
downfield.
he, man? Where did
Luke
he come
McCaffrey.
from?
No relation. I think he is related to Christian, is he not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So they were getting the ball downfield. That really wasn't the problem. Mariota didn't turn it over a bunch. They didn't really sustain drives as much as they needed. And honestly, the Atlanta's defense was back again, which they seemed to be on and off. I thought that Atlanta's defense was really great. Washington did come back in the game and make it a little interesting, but Atlanta, the drive at the end was a game-sealing drive. They spent a lot of time, got all the way down into the nice cushiony red zone for a field goal to kind of just keep the game away.
Yeah, one thing I liked about the game, though, seeing Mikey Sainristil pick off Penix one more time, just like the old Michigan National Championship game. So that brought back some good memories.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, Penix looked a lot better. He looked like he did in week 1 when they were just flowing.
Yeah.
And they remembered that they had fucking Bijan Robinson on the team. Hey, he's there.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. He's there. You line him up at wide receiver. Do weird shit with him because he can. He can do everything. He can play everywhere, so he can be your weapon. And it looks like they moved him around a lot yesterday, and they were blocking a lot better. Kyle Pitts made an appearance.
5 for 5 for 75, I think, in a tutty.
Yeah, so they were clicking yesterday, and back to my argument last week why I picked the Commanders, that I thought they could win. That last touchdown to Deebo, Mariota put it on a dime, dude, and he can make that throw still. You gotta like that he can still do that stuff for you. So I seriously, even though they're 500 now, you kind of don't want to rush Jaden Daniels back. I mean, because Mariota can still do this stuff for you. They can still win games with him. But not having Jaden Daniels may have been the reason that they did lose yesterday. They were like you were talking about Luke McCaffrey. Don't know where in the hell he came from, but he's returning punts. He's going out and catching touchdowns. Dude looks almost every bit as fast as Christian does.
Right.
So they got another weapon over there.
They're going to have to give him more PT. You get McLaurin back, and now Jaden Daniels comes in there, and he's like, "Ooh, I got
another toy. Ooh, I got me a white boy toy. Ooh."
Yeah. So that's the glowing good thing that come from the game. But obviously 2-2, you're still okay. Philadelphia is going to run away with that division. Again, get to it later.
It looks like it, yeah.
You're in the hunt. You're going to be okay. Just get Daniels back here the next week or so.
They'll be fine.
But yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed with Atlanta. I thought their defense came back again, and it's funny. I really feel like Atlanta is going to perpetually hang around 500 the whole year. I said it last week. They're going to be 4-5, and we're going to be asking questions about what can they do to get over the hump. I feel like they're going to ride 500 about the whole year. I can see a 6-7 in their future. Like, I can just see the standings as they go. They just feel like that kind of team. Now, if Penix plays like that, that's a different conversation. If he does that every game, they're gonna get pretty hot, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna need to stay hot if they're gonna stay within range of Tampa, because Tampa definitely looks to be the class of that division again.
Yes,
Um,
they look really good in their game.
they're
We'll
definitely
get
going to
to
be the only two I think with a shot. So
them.
they need to take this and let it catapult them for the rest of the year. They
Hmm.
know that they can have this kind of an effort in them.
Yep, I agree. Also, something to note with their team, I think Atlanta does better when you say that Bijan Robinson and Algier are getting the ball early, throw it to them, run it with them, and then I think they need to focus mostly on London and Pitts. I know that their other receiver they got from the Bears, what's his name, Mahoney or something
Mooney.
close. Mooney. I know Mooney is solid, and he's gonna make you plays, but you don't want to focus on him too much because it just seems like those other guys they need to be more in rhythm, I guess is the way. Like I just look at Mooney as someone who can make a big play at a big moment, and he could have two for like 60 yards but he made like the two biggest plays in the game. He doesn't need his rhythm as much in my opinion, but I really feel like London and Pitts are very vital on having rhythm to help your team, and they need to be involved. So you really need to try to focus on getting those two the ball and running it, in my
Yep.
opinion. And Penix should run a little on occasion. When he sees that lane, he needs to take off and get himself a couple a game.
Yeah, but you got all those weapons, man. He doesn't have to. But yeah, you can
But
have
when he sees
packages.
it,
Yeah, yeah, you want them to take it down. You know, those quick rushes when they're blitzing, you get your first read or two, you take off.
yeah,
But I think they
two
should
for
come up with some
18, two,
packages. Yeah,
yeah,
come up with some packages where you got Algier in the backfield and you got Bijan in the slot or something. I mean, to do
yeah,
that, that would be hard to stop and hard to plan for. I would like to
yep.
see maybe something like that, maybe five to 10 times a game, maybe, and that could probably open it up for them.
And I might even like to see a little option play a couple times
Ooh.
a game. You know what I mean? That's some college style. But if you got
Mhm.
Bijan and Algier on both sides of you, you catch the shotgun, you hold it here while Algier's running behind you, and you take the read, and then you just pull it out and take off running left, and you got the pitch option to Algier.
Yeah.
The NFL players, they are in the league long enough that an option situation like that, they kind of forget, oh shit, how do I play that again? Like it's good to have a couple of those in there just in
Yeah.
case, especially when you have two running backs, you have to find a way to play them both. You have to.
Yeah, I haven't seen the option since we played K State in 2018. So
Exactly. They haven't seen it. And so to
be,
throw it at them would be a good thing.
yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, moving on to what was kind of a more entertaining game than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Saints played with pride,
Hmm.
which I was like, I kind of gave them a silent like clap, like, hey,
Yeah,
you
that
guys
was
played
a
drastic.
hell of an effort. Yeah, that was nice. I would have
What'd you
liked to
see?
see maybe a little bit more Kamara instead of Kendre Miller all the time, but he was producing.
Kendra,
You can't hold it against him. But man, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, they go up there. They had Buffalo on the ropes. They hit them with a couple good haymakers, and I think they lost it when they tried to get cute, and Olave throws
they
that
were
pick. I mean, it was a hell of a play by
they were
Buffalo,
feeling
but
themselves.
yeah, it was like okay, you're trying. I get why you want to try to get a trick play there to catch them off guard, but
Yeah.
leave the Philly special to Philly. So it was bad. It was a bad ball. It had way too
It
much
had no
air on it.
chance.
It
No
was
chance.
getting picked 100% right when he let it
And they
go.
were playing it. They weren't fooled. It's like it's not one thing like where a guy's recovering and he's in position. The whole damn team read it pretty well. It wasn't a fool you moment. You
Yeah,
just gotta either run if you see a lane to just run and get out of bounds, or just throw it the freak away. Like
just throw it or
you can't do that.
tuck it and run or something,
Yeah,
But
it didn't
yeah,
work.
if I'm a New Orleans fan, I'm saying we brought Olave in to catch balls, not throw them. He was a quarterback in high school or something, but I mean, leave that shit to Mohamed Sanu. Let him do that.
Yeah,
He's like the only guy I would want throwing the ball. But
name dropping.
name dropping, buddy. That's how old I am. But yeah, it was a hell of an effort. Spencer Rattler played pretty good too. Um,
He
he made
did.
some
He
great
did.
plays. He made some great throws. That the touchdown to Olave, man, that was a ball. Um, but you just got to credit Buffalo's defense. They bent a lot, but when they needed to make a play, they did. Josh
Mhm.
Allen just doing Josh Allen things, man. Just that dude he's on another level, man.
Yep, I agree. My takeaway was the Saints' best plays seem to go to running backs. So it kind of starts that conversation. If, like we just talked with Atlanta, it's like, okay, if your two most dynamic players are running backs, you're going to have to figure out how to get them both out there,
Yep.
right?
And you know you
Now
can
I
line Kamara
worry.
up at
I
receiver
mean,
too. He's done it before.
I worry the Saints will get cute and they'll be like, oh, we can trade Kamara, which I think you should do for his sake. But it would
Yeah.
be stupid for New Orleans. However, if you can get a decent haul for him, it is a better move for them as a business decision for sure.
Yeah.
For game day, no, you really need to play Kamara and Kendre Miller because they were both very effective. I just took from the Bills, man, they can really run the football. Like they can, like James Cook has become into his own. They can really run it in a lot of different ways, sweeps and draws and right up the middle. And he hesitates Le'Veon Bell style and shoots. His jump cuts are so dang fast. I mean, he has really been working on his craft. He is excellent. He's every bit as good as his brother. Like
I
he's
would
so good now.
I would venture to say he's the most talented running back in that family.
I mean,
Dalvin
he's
Dalvin was more of a bruiser, but
mhm.
man, James
Yeah.
is just a complete package, man. Just
He
he
is
can
the
cut on
elusive
a
back.
dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a complete back. He can do everything, and
Yeah.
he has done everything. I think what was it yesterday was his eighth straight game with a touchdown. It's
Yeah.
like,
He's on
holy
fire.
crap, man. Yeah. So
And
keep riding
you
him.
give Josh Allen that kind of weapon. It's what we've been saying. It's like, look, I know Josh Allen hasn't gotten over the hump, but he didn't have James Cook in his prime, and Cook is entering his prime.
Oh, this
And
is prime
he's
year one for sure.
yeah, of the collection of years. He's going top in fantasy drafts next year. Like we're talking yeah, Jonathan
Yep.
Taylor. There's only a couple guys where you just feel like, my goodness, they're the best running back. And there's
Yep.
honestly, we have a lot of good running backs. When you really go down the list, there is a
Mhm.
lot of unbelievably talented running backs who can run and catch the football. I hope that they get some pay raises in the future. Maybe they can get over 20 a year because there is some hellaciously talented running backs right now.
Start paying the
Um,
backs, man. Start paying them.
just a little bit more. It's not like you have to break the bank, but just improve it by 5 mil. That's all
Yeah.
we're saying. I thought Josh Allen, he had his pick, and I thought that it was pretty wise pick because they were in a third and long and actually had a lot of third and longs in that game, and they were on their own 12-yard line. So throwing that bomb down there to midfield and it getting picked off, that's damn near a bad punt. Like it,
Basically a punt. Yeah.
that's not one that you live on and go, oh my God, that was so horrible. It's like strategic. You get a PI there, you get an unbelievable catch there. You know, you're giving your guy an opportunity. If he doesn't come down with it, okay, we punted a play early. It was an and punt. Or we believe in our defense, and
Yep.
it's that's the maturation I think of Josh Allen. You remember before he was slinging that sucker. I mean, he was smoking Jay Cutler. He was slinging
Yeah.
the ball, and now he's very strategic in what he does or where he places the ball. He's a low turnover guy now.
He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, but yesterday he was getting a little bit of pressure. This I think the Saints surprised them along with everybody else who was watching the game too.
Yes.
Didn't expect that to be such a close game in the fourth quarter, but with championship contending teams, that's what you see them do. You see them separate themselves when they get a winless team. You're undefeated. They're spanking your butt pretty good, and they're keeping
Mm-hmm.
it close. And it's like, okay, they're giving you shot after shot, and what do you do to answer? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what they did. And you find your Kincaid, one of your 75 tight ends on that damn roster, but yeah, you just
They do
you
have a
you
lot.
rely you put the entire town on Josh Allen's back, and you just say, "Go get it," and he says, "Okay."
Yeah, I'm hearing you. There was another roughing the punter, and I just hate it because you can't stop it from happening
Nah, you
when you
can't do
go
it.
for the block. But it is what it is. And
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
the Saints player, I thought they took big advantage of him. Their defensive end, Granderson, there was far too many times that they put him in coverage, and he's a big boy trying to play coverage, and they seemed like when the ball went near him, they were just totally screwed. And I was like, why is this big man playing cover as a right outside linebacker? He needs to go in for the quarterback. Like Granderson was put on an island, and I was just like, this poor man is not the right strategy for whatever their DC was calling up. It was not good.
How sore do you think he is today?
His hamstrings are more sore than they've been. He's over here backpedaling a lot and looking around.
Yeah,
it's like
he's definitely he's going to be a DNP for a couple days.
I didn't understand it, but that was all I really saw from it. It was another convincing win for Bills.
Yeah. Yep.
They handled a team that gave them about everything they had, and yeah, I mean, New Orleans, hey, you're trying not to be the worst team, and I appreciate that. Like, you guys are trying to not be the bad team in the league, and you're trying to figure it out. So kudos to them.
Yep. They played really well. They can build on it. They're going to win a couple games.
Yeah, I think so. Probably against like a Carolina, but we'll get to them. The next game, Cleveland and the Lions. My quote I put on here was, I think it's time.
It's time.
It is time to go down the Browns QB list, and it is time to start to examine what you have. Joe Flacco, man, he was an absolute statue, and Detroit feasted on him like it was Thanksgiving a month and a half early. He failed on a second and goal, and I'm like, if you think that Flacco is getting that QB sneak when you have Judkins, and then on the next like play or something, they gave it to Judkins and he scores a touchdown. I'm like, you thought that Flacco had a better chance of getting it. Like, sometimes I think when you take Daniel Jones and put him through, I'm like, you think that's better than Jonathan Taylor. But Daniel Jones is not Flacco. And I just like, that's the most absurd thing to do. I couldn't even – it was the slowest QB sneak I've seen in many years. I'm like, what are we doing? Are we trying to retire him? Is that what it is? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, at least with Daniel Jones, he's mobile, and
Yes.
I would like to I compare Joe Flacco doing that. He's kind of like dial-up connection. He's just slowly he's getting to the line. He's getting there, but it's like, oh right. My God. Like that pop-up window when you were just waiting on stuff to download on the old school internet. It was just like a folder. It took like 5 hours for something that now takes 5 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. Joe Flacco is still Windows 95.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have goal line opportunities and you're not giving it to Judkins or Dylan Sampson 3 times straight, what are we doing?
Running backs are the best thing on your team, pretty much. I mean, you got Judy, but your running backs are young and dynamic, and you grow them like a beautiful tree. Like, just pour water on it.
Yeah. But what about the one thing I did like about Cleveland though yesterday was that catch from Isaiah Bond on the sideline. That was amazing. He's going to be a dude. So
Isaiah Bond,
get somebody that can really get him the ball. But I think you're right. I think if they did, I think they would probably go Dylan Gabriel first before they went with Shedeur, which I think is the right call because he does seem to be playing. But when Dylan Gabriel gets put in the game, they move. They do good things, but he did a lot. I think he moved it a little bit better than Flacco. So, and then when he came in, when they were playing the Ravens, he came in and they went right down the field. So I think that it is time to start going down the line and, at least give Gabriel some starts, and if you don't like where he's at, you don't think Shedeur can start, then okay, maybe start Flacco, but you got to see you're 1-3 now. Something's got to happen. Pittsburgh's running away with the division. Yeah, you're still at the bottom of the barrel there with Baltimore, but how long is that going to last? Baltimore can easily turn it around. Cleveland is not likely to turn it around, but you got to do something.
Fire away.
Yeah. Yep. So I'd say do something. I mean, it worked for the Giants, so do something.
The reason I say it is because you have 2 draft picks in your situation. Yeah, you do need to call it early. You do. And in most cases, you could be like, well, they're 1-3. They're still in division. Let's wait a couple more games. No, not for me. Not after that game. Because Flacco was like 15 of 36 or something. That pick, where was he throwing the ball?
To Detroit. It looked like they were the intended receiver. It's like, what are you doing?
It's
So
okay.
I
Like
mean,
Flacco was a good football player. He played good for the Browns a couple years ago and got them in the playoffs. He played fairly well for us at times last year. It's okay, but Flacco is not the best choice for them moving forward. How many times that they could have maybe made a couple plays if they just had a guy that could move? Like they have two guys that can do that are young, and you have the capital. You have to see what you have. You have to, it's time. When Myles Garrett just signed an extension, he was the only guy doing anything, it seemed, even remotely. Goff was probably like, I know we're up a lot, but I'm still scared.
yeah,
He
he
was
was
running
definitely
away from him on a
he
couple plays,
was
and I
he was
thought
running.
he had his shitting pants on. Like,
Oh yeah,
man,
he was running with a turd in his cheeks for sure. I would have been
oh,
too, but
me too.
again,
My
it's like the
gosh.
same thing. It's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. You don't want him to throw the ball 30, 35 times. You just don't want to do it.
Mm-mm.
He's going to wear
No.
himself out. And if Joe Flacco is throwing the ball 30 or 35 times, when you
Yeah.
got a damn good running back, a couple
Yeah.
of them,
Also,
it doesn't
I
make
don't think
sense.
they're not getting the ball to Njoku enough, and rookies love
No,
their tight
they never
ends.
do.
So it's going to help them. Just
Yeah.
they're going to play better football once a young quarterback gets in there and gets a couple opportunities. They'll just
Yeah.
play better.
It just seems to me
Um,
like they never remember that they have Njoku on their roster until November, and then he
right.
blows up.
I thought that was going to be a game that he was going to have a solid outing, and
He could have.
yeah, I
It's the
thought.
Browns.
I got a quote from one of our watchers. Bates, his one field goal, he really bent it like Beckham. I don't know if you watched
Dude,
that ball, but when it
magnets in
come
the ball, I'm telling you.
it went left and it started curving right, and then it settled and it came
Yeah,
back left again, and I was like, "Holy crap!
give me a
I never
break.
seen it do that."
Yeah, they tried to use the knuckleball theory. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's some Avatar
Ma-
shit right there, bud. You're
Magnets
you're
in the
bending
ball.
that stuff. It's just,
If there was
man.
magnets in the ball, they would have to like have it by remote and turn it off when it got close, because when it doink, it just stay on the pylon. It just stay on there up there on the upright. Doink.
It's not outside the realm of possibilities, man. I got my
They
Joe
would have to
Rogan
be good.
conspiracy hat on.
When we see clock operators, which we will get to later in this again, when they can screw up on stopping the clock, I don't
Yep.
think that there's a guy with the magnet button that would get it right every single time. You're like, shit, and it would just stick to the upright. I doubt it. I doubt it.
That would be
Anyway,
funny.
it would be. Let's see. Judy, he had a costly drop there, I thought. The Raymond touchdown kind of just made it that dagger. He's good for one or two of those about
One or
every
two
year.
year, yeah.
And
Little
when you
buddy.
directionally kick it to the one side, you can't let him get middle or he's freaking gone. And
Yeah.
they absolutely let him go middle. I was like, oh
Yeah. I think maybe they're going to be practicing angles in Cleveland this week because there was a
yeah,
lot of bad ones. But
yeah,
Raymond, man, he's a quickie little buddy. So
yeah.
he made him pay.
For what it's worth, I definitely think they should go Shador. I understand they're going to go Gabriel, and he could be a guy.
Yeah.
He seems very Tua to me. He's left-handed. He doesn't seem like he's going to go out and run as much. He's going to stay in the pocket. He doesn't strike me as a strong arm. And I see a lot of Tua, and I'm like, so if he's going to be crazy accurate, then awesome. But if he's not, then your ceiling is just too low. That's for me personally. But
Yeah, I just don't know. You don't know what Shador has. He hasn't seen the field at all this year. So you kind of would want to put, I think, Gabriel, he does have at least a couple games where he's seen the field. But,
yeah,
if they put Shador out there and he shits the bed, that's going to look really, really bad. So I
yeah,
think they're going to want to be pretty ginger with the situation and just say, okay, well, we're going to put Gabriel out there first. He has a little bit of experience. Maybe he's doing better in practice, but he's definitely he's second on the depth chart for a reason. So
yeah.
you want to put him out there, and, if he screws up, then you can put Shador out there. Because if Shador goes out there and shits the bed after Gabriel shits the bed, then it doesn't maybe it just looks like, okay, there's a line issue or there's a chemistry issue
suck.
or something. And it's not just Shedor's awful, So
We suck again.
yeah, I think they may be doing it to protect him, but I don't know. But I think you want to put Gabriel out there first to see what he can do, and if anything, and if he doesn't do anything good, then you can maybe put Shedeur out there. But I would definitely wait on him just a little bit longer.
For the Lions, I thought that they played pretty solid for most of the game. That Jameson Williams, he almost had that one catch that was going to be just lightning. It would have been amazing. And then Goff underthrew that one ball. He had one real bad ball in the game. I think he just didn't see the safety stayed there, because he tried that one deep one to the right, and it was way underthrown, way off. I don't know if did he not put enough on it and send it all the way out, or I think he just didn't see him. He thought there was a safety there, and he didn't catch him. But that was the only bad ball. Otherwise, they played really well. Montgomery did get shit going, but Gibbs ate. So it was Gibby all day long, and they cruised to an easy win. So.
Yep, of course, and Amon-Ra did his thing. So
always blocking downfield, always doing what he does.
He reminds me. I think he's going to be. I would want to get like a statue of him and put it in a little travel suitcase, like in SpongeBob, and just pull out Old Reliable all the time. Yeah. That's what he is. He's like he's their Puka. Like it's like no matter where he goes, he's going to score. Mm-hmm. He can't be stopped. So
I just realized I remembered something. We did not touch on Aaron Rodgers' block that he threw.
That was amazing. Did you see that? It was good. I was like, what? Old man out there doing some stuff.
That hip check, that little hip check block.
You don't want to call it a block, but he definitely helped him out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, look at you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
40-some-year-old man out there. Anyway, let's see.
Maybe we skip the next two games, huh? Just skip them.
We could, but I would like to touch on them briefly. Okay.
Yeah.
Titans and the Texans. I put impressed ? Did you leave impressed?
Nope.
Yeah. Neither did I. And it's a shutout. We're supposed to be impressed, right? We are. We are supposed to look at that and be like, dominated, but it wasn't. If you watch that game, it was not an impressive win.
Yeah, and if I might go on a little bit of a rant here, so bear with me.
Okay, all right. See, you were going to skip it. Here on the J&K Show, we don't skip rants. Go.
We don't. Indiana Broadcasting. This is the only fucking game we could have got. We get stuck with the Titans and the Texans and the worst commentator in history.
It's a division
Beth,
game.
what's her name? I cannot stand her voice.
I could not listen. I am not a misogynist. She just doesn't sound good.
She
Sorry.
I wish, for God's sake, if any female commentator is going to take lessons from anybody, take lessons from the Queen, Ms. Doris Burke. Stop trying to sound male. Stop it. If you're going to be a female commentator, there's plenty of talented ones out there, some that are really, really good, and I don't mind listening to them. But Beth, whatever her last name is, I don't give a shit. Awful.
Beth, I don't give a
terrible. I felt so bad for old, who was with her? Yes, was it Ross Tucker?
I'm not even sure. I did not. I tried. When I watched some of the clips back, I turned the volume down.
The game was on mute yesterday. My kids were pissed. They're like, "Where's the audio?" It's like, "Well, I'm gonna have Red Zone over here going." And I wanted the game to be on TV. I was kind of hoping maybe we could get Tampa, Philly on the Fox station.
You were probably hoping they would just take the game, like Houston would do what they're supposed to, and bludgeon them, and they would maybe actually switch the game for everyone.
Yeah. When that game is over, we got to see I think the last 5 minutes of Buffalo, New Orleans. But oh my God, what are we fucking doing? I cannot.
And all of the other games were fairly interesting at 1:00. We had a lot of surprise things of like, whoa, what's going on there? And to be stuck on that game was like,
when it's 6-0 in the third goddamn quarter, switch away. Please, for the love of God, switch away to something else. I would have rather watched New England, Carolina. I would have watched anything else except for that
You were
shit
hoping
show.
that they would just cut away to other highlights of the other games. Here's a
Oh,
game break. It's like, yes, more game breaks,
yes,
please.
yes. I would sit there and watch the NFL today guys just watching the game. I wouldn't
You
care
should have
anything
you
but.
should have switched it to like CBS Sports News or something, where they just a couple guys with no footage just
Uh,
going and talking stats as they're happening and the tickers going, because that probably would have been better than actually watching this game. Now I'm going to get
yeah.
into it briefly. Are you done with your rant? Is that
For the sake of time, yes.
okay? All right. I thought that the first drive by the Texans was a good drive. Um, I thought that the Titans' first drive was good, and they missed the Cam Ward being crushed in the face. He was rolling out of bounds, and he threw it wherever, and they uppercutted him right into his
Hey,
face mask.
Al-Shaair again.
He's such a
Al-Shaair.
dirty son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand Al-Shaair. He is a
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
He is a dirty player.
I
And
can't
you can
stand
sit
it.
there and say, well, it's heat of the moment. It's a passion of the game and all that stuff.
He just
At
hit a
that,
fucking
he's
quarterback
turning
in the face.
into Aqib Talib really quickly.
Yeah. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
I will
Start
be so
giving
happy
the young
when
guys some calls too, can we? Please give young guys some calls.
Can we protect him?
Yeah,
He's only the number one pick.
yeah. I don't want to hear none of this protecting the players and shit that the league blows out of their mouth all the time. When you get a bullshit roughing the passer call, and then
Yep.
you get Cam Ward who is physically assaulted, and nothing. There's no laundry on it whatsoever. Give me a break. I don't want to hear the league's excuses. Yep,
It was BS. I was
total BS.
hot when I saw that. I was like, okay. Now for the Titans, what I also thought was awesome. Jeffrey Simmons, that probably might be the fastest sack I've ever seen in my life.
That was an amazing play.
I couldn't believe how fast that was. I mean, neither line, obviously, neither guy, the center, the guard, they did not. They chose a different path.
Mm-hmm.
That hole opened like Moses, the river for Moses. Just
I'm thinking maybe Stroud cut a wet fart in the huddle or something. And they're like, all right, dude, just go kill him.
Just go kill him. He's good for one. So that was awesome. So those are two things I definitely wanted to touch on.
Yep.
The Texans scored their first red zone touchdown of the season.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? The Titans, they simply couldn't sustain drives. They had 21 minutes of game ball, right? So that means Texans had 38 minutes of game ball. Bright spot, Texans, Woody Marks looked pretty good. He looked solid.
Yeah.
So
Joe Mixon, I think well, they still keep moving the timetable for him to come back. I think at this point you move him. I think at this point you move him because they need something. They need something to help the offense. You know, they got Nick Chubb can go, Marks can go. Yeah. They don't need Mixon, and they can probably get some stuff for him if he's playing shape here in a couple weeks before the trade deadline. I say you move him and get you a lineman or get you another wideout or something, because they need to do something up down there.
What I think is he's not going to be ready in time to be traded. I don't think he'll pass a physical. So I think they are going to be stuck with him this year, but I would say they're going to move him in the offseason for sure. You seem like right now, Woody Marks being more of your running back, Nick Chubb helps out. That's kind of like a Pacheco Kareem Hunt, where you have a veteran behind him that you know you have some trust in, but you're seeing if this young guy can spark something. And we've seen that Pacheco did well in last season with Kareem Hunt as his backup. And so that's probably the way they should go. And when so far Woody Marks getting more playing time, their offense has incrementally gotten better each moment. But they're still crap. I mean, they are still crap.
That's why I said, Cam Ward after the game said, if I'm being honest, we're ass. You look like, and Houston, they're ass too. They just, it was like two booties collided yesterday. And Houston's
was stinky BBL.
Yeah. Houston's dumpa was just a little bit bigger.
All right. The other game that we're going to just blow right by is I put blowout loss again. I am sick and tired of seeing the Carolina Panthers get their asses kicked. and sometimes make it close in garbage time. And then what last week they kicked Atlanta's ass. I'm so tired of these
Yeah.
non-competitive shit games with involving Carolina. Their first drive, they had a touchdown. Then they went they got a 3 and out and you're like, "Hey, that's awesome." Then they did nothing with the ball, allowed a punt return for a touchdown,
What
and
a
this
return.
got throttled. They got throttled from that point on. They played Andy Dalton later on. Dalton was solid. We've seen Red Rifle. I'm just, I'm over here. They had two special teams touchdowns. New England did, so that's also ass for
And
Carolina. And is it time for Carolina to make some phone calls and bring a new QB in to just try? Because
yeah.
seriously, we've seen enough of Dalton and Bryce Young in Carolina. Like it's not gonna happen. Stop forcing it down everyone's throats. Every Carolina fan at this point, it's like it is not gonna happen. Call Colts for Anthony Richardson. Call the Browns. Call Kirk Cousins. Call anyone. I would prefer you to get a young quarterback, obviously, but
oh, dude,
I mean,
you know what would make them fun to watch?
who?
Jameis fucking Winston, man.
Colin,
Oh,
Carolina.
that would be so good. I'm ready. I'm ready to see him throw some stuff down there. That would be
Call Kansas City
hilarious.
for Gardner Minshew. Somebody that
Oh,
you
don't do
feel
that to
like
Gardner. He's a good guy. He didn't do anything to
I'm
deserve
not trying to do anything. I'm looking at it like you have McMillan, who's a promising young wideout. You have a couple of tight ends that I actually feel like are kind of athletically gifted. I think that they have something in Jatavian Sanders. You have running backs that you've been trying to work in and get some rhythm. If they're lines ass, they're lines ass. But Bryce Young consistently plays poorly,
it. Yeah,
and he
I think
only
that
shows
experiment's
out in
over.
garbage time.
Yeah,
Like it's okay, it's over.
get rid of him before it comes time to sign an extension because you know they're not going to extend him.
Yeah, it's
And
it's just not happening.
I don't see anybody giving him a big contract. So yeah, I would say maybe make some phone calls for sure. He's just not it. I mean, he's so inconsistent. And the
Hmm.
problem was him coming out was his size. It was always his size. You know,
Yeah.
you can play college ball, at 5'11", 6 foot tall, but not in the NFL when you got to throw over some trees every play. So I would
Hmm.
say, yeah, cut his ass, be done with it. Hit that
I
experiment
just look
failed.
at it and I'm like, at times, guys like Tommy DeVito have looked better. Guys
Mm-hmm.
like Cooper Rush have looked better. Like I can go down a list of guys that I'm like, yeah, I saw a game where they flashed and looked really nice, and I just can never say that with Bryce Young. They can win games sometimes, but it's usually because the other team played so bad.
Yeah, they definitely and when they blew the Falcons out last week, it wasn't because of what Bryce Young did or didn't do.
No,
It
it
was
was all
because of
because
the
of Atlanta.
defense and the special teams. So I would say definitely look to move on from him. If they don't do it this season, if they want to do the right thing or whatever and give him the rest of the season, all right,
Mhm,
because you're going to be drafted in the top three again. Maybe don't
mhm.
trade your draft pick to Chicago again, but
You should be calling for like Trey Lances and guys that
something.
haven't quite got their opportunity. Call for Mac Jones. I don't know.
Yeah, do
Call around the
something.
league for someone who you just think is the next Darnold or the next Baker or the next Daniel Jones, or who you just think that change of scenery might be right, and they're still less than 26 or 7 years old. Like
Yeah.
call around. There's got to be a couple guys and bring them in for a
Yep.
fifth round pick and just try out someone else because this isn't working.
Yep. Nope. Experiment over.
Yep. Moving on. Dart charged up. He charged up the whole team with the Giants. His mobility. We talked about it. We talked about it. We said, man, this game is going to be close. This game, I could see this. Like we made it happen. I feel like we spoke it
Yep.
right into existence,
Yep.
and the Giants shocked the Chargers.
The credit goes to us again.
Yeah,
We're good at what this is professional journalism at its finest.
yeah.
But yeah, this that it was wow, wow. The poise, man. I mean, a
Grit,
young kid with
grit,
some
and
poise.
toughness.
Tough dude. Got knocked out for a little bit, and watching on Red Zone, when they were saying, "Oh, it looks like Russell Wilson's coming into the game," Jackson Dart had to go to the blue tent. get checked out for a concussion. You could hear the crowd. Oh, what the hell! Oh, it's like he comes out, the next series, it's like, yay, all right, yay. So it's like,
You
yeah, I
timed that
mean,
pretty good. That was like the wave.
yeah, that's definitely a culture shift. I think in New York that his play, I think, motivated the defense to go out there and get after it. The Chargers are down to their third left tackle now, but it's that had a little bit to do with it, maybe. But man, Herbert was just not comfortable, and
No, the Giants defense,
sexy,
it was
sexy
good.
Dexy, man, sexy Dexy. I love watching the Fat Boys get some interceptions and rumble down the field. I wish he would have gotten into the end zone, but
Oh, he
you
tried.
know
Oh, he tried.
he did. He just did too much bacon, man. Too much bacon.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Obviously the low spot of the game for the Giants. Neighbors, right
Mhm.
when you thought they would start the beginning of what could have been a beautiful
Yeah,
connection, that
yeah.
really is disheartening. That
That's
really sucks.
yeah. That's a
That gives
dagger to the
me
heart.
Burrow Chase vibes where early on one of them's out and you can't really build that beautiful connection. Not that that has halted them because they played each other in college. But it's just like ouch. Oh,
Yeah,
what could
but I mean
be?
it. If you want to put a positive spin on it, which is what we do. Um,
Yes.
it'll give him a chance to build up with Wandale Robinson and Slayton and everybody else over there. And then,
Yeah.
because when Neighbors comes back next year, he may not even be 100% still, but
Mhm.
they'll still have some familiarity with the other weapons that are there. And Scattaboo, man, that dude is like the Braun Breaker of the NFL. Dude is crazy,
he,
crazy.
he is going to turn a lot of people into Giants fans with his level of play because people that love football, they love that. They love
Yeah.
the way Scatabo plays.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
I,
I don't mind watching the Giants, seeing Dart do what he did and Scattaboo running, how hard he runs. Yeah, they're going to be a fun team to watch. They might not win every single week, they may be at the
yeah.
bottom of the division, but they're going to be a fun team to watch, and their defense looked like they could be pretty elite yesterday too. So they're going to keep them in games.
I would say that if Dart isn't turning the ball over a lot, that they're liable to be in just about every game this
Yeah,
season. I feel like they will be within a score of about every single game. As long as he hasn't turned it over a bunch, they're probably going to be there.
yep.
They seem like that kind of team. I thought also what killed for the Chargers was they had two turnovers that led the Giants to the inside the 5 yard line. You're giving Dart a very short field to score or get some points, so that changed the complexion of the game. Honestly, if the location of those turnovers are in a different spot on the field, the Giants probably wouldn't have been able to win the game because the Chargers defense was really solid most of the week, most of the game. Dart only threw for like 100 yards and he ran for 50. So there wasn't going to be a lot of ball movement. The Chargers were going to keep most of it bottled up, but Scatabo would have broke or done some things. But I think the Chargers would have held on if it was just the turnovers, the batted ball. The tipped, both of them, I think, were tipped from the line, and one ended up in Lawrence's big hands, and then the other one went into like a safety or linebacker. I can't remember who it was. Um, so those were costly. Hampton though was sensational. He's finally caught his own. Najee got moved out of the way. I don't know if there was an intimidation of Najee Harris from Alabama or Pittsburgh, and I don't know what it was. But ever since
Yeah.
he's gotten hurt, Hampton has risen to the occasion. He is a bright spot for them now.
Yeah.
They probably don't need to trade for Kamara, but Hampton he was awesome.
Yeah, we still got some hope for Kamar Ball, dude. Don't lose
I
faith
know.
on it. Don't lose faith yet.
I also noticed with Tracy being out and Scatabo getting more opportunities, it also gives a long lost running back some opportunities. I thought Singletary looked pretty good at his little moments. I forgot that Devin Singletary was on the Giants.
Yeah.
So they're really not hurting too bad at running back. You might even try Tracy at wide receiver like he played in college when he gets healthy because you're
Yeah.
actually needing him there. And then I thought that the Dart 3rd-and-1 effort that he had to get that one first down was unbelievable. And the tone he set for that whole team, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
the juice. That's what we were all saying. It's that you got to have that extra juice for the
Yeah,
team.
he lit a fire under the team, and if you saw him
Yeah.
and Dayball after the game button heads, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like that's some shit he used to do with Josh Allen back when he
Yeah.
was with Buffalo. Still, it's like I think he found his Josh Allen, and
Yeah.
all they got to do is just make God, please God, protect this kid, block
Yes.
for him, get on your
Yes.
line, and you tell them if anything happens to this guy, you're gone, you're toast. That's just all there is to it. So
They definitely
if they can
had.
protect him, he lit a fire under the entire team
Mhm.
yesterday, and I
Yep.
think he elevated everybody. It was really cool to see.
Hmm. And him and Dayball, they definitely had one of those very manly embraces, so
Strictly
to speak.
platonic love, brother.
It was very loving. And
Yeah.
what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, goodness, I think we lost it here on J and K show. Darn it. Anyway, oh, Russell Wilson. They did
Yeah.
supposedly make him available. Russell Wilson. I think
Hey,
that would be in their
Carolina.
best interest. That would be
Carolina.
in their best interest. Yeah, Carolina, somebody else, just get him gone. And I think that because it's like what you said with the fans, you already would be worried if Dark has to go out for something, right? To then turn and have to go to Russ and the booze and everything. It's just a bad, like, I think that gives your team a bad energy. And yeah, if you can just play Jameis as the backup, and if that means you have to trade Russ, then you need to trade him because if Dart has to leave for a couple plays because he his nail got bent back on his non-throwing hand, whatever the heck it could be, you don't want your whole fandom and everyone sending this like bad energy into the game or anything. And they would get excited for Jameis Winston. He is a beloved backup quarterback. So you got to move Russell Wilson. And honestly, there's a team that I wonder because of familiarity if there's a potential there. I will get to that. So moving on to the next one, which was what we thought was going to be the game of the week. Comeback thwarted. It's what you said you wanted to have happen. The Philadelphia Eagles started fast. And that's what we were talking last week. It feels like they correct the flaw so quickly, quicker than about any Super Bowl returning champ has ever done. Sometimes it's mid game or it's right to the next game. They did exactly what you asked. 24-3 They started very fast.
Yeah, that was good. Hey, a block punt for a touchdown always helps too.
True.
Before you even get a chance to get the ball, but they still, as quick as they got out to the lead. I mean, you still, if you're Philly, you're worried about the pass game too.
A little
AJ
bit.
Brown, 2 catches for 7 yards is not going to do it. Um, to his
He had
credit,
a tweet.
he's
He
being
had a tweet
he's being
after.
good about it. He's being really, maybe those self help books are helping him out a lot.
He
But
had a tweet about something about when you're not getting your attention, you just put your head down, look the other way, or something. He is
yeah,
obviously disgruntled, and he's handling it as good as he can.
as good as he
You know,
can. I mean, when you're as good as he is, man, 2 catches, 7 yards. That's just not it. I mean,
yeah.
I think that they need to definitely over overvamp the play calling here because you take a look at what the OC is doing. It just seems like they're not getting him involved. They're sending him on these little basic routes all the time, and he's doing what he can, but it's like they're always designing it to not go his way. And I get it. You got Saquon Barkley. You got to get him touches, and Devontae's on the other side. Goddard did his thing, but
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown has to be involved, and he has to be a focal point on that offense. He has to be the number one guy because he is the number one guy.
You're
So
going to
treat him
need
like it.
him at some point in a big
Yeah.
when you're in the late season and you're in the playoffs. Like you're gonna need him. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, of course, he'll be ready, but like you need the chemistry from Jalen to him. It needs to be
Yep.
crisp.
Yep.
So
So I don't know if there's something going on with Hurts and he's not taking the time, or they're not letting routes develop, or they're not just saying, look, go out there, just play some backyard ball, look for a hole, and get there.
Yeah.
I think that's what they need to do, like he did last week. It might have been only in the second half, but I mean, he was involved. He was one of the main reasons that they came back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I could see a little bit of bad juju beginning. I think about the Seahawks with their big run that they had. And I remember this feeling of Marshawn Lynch was the guy. And I just run it down their throats. We got this in the bag. And then Pete Carroll sides with Russell Wilson and decides, no, we're going to throw it because Russ is going to be the guy this time. And they blow the entire game. And honestly, that's the only thing right now, like I said, Philly corrects every single issue. So next game, maybe AJ Brown goes for like $170, like a Puka. But the way I look at it, it's you don't want to let any little thing become a big thing. And when you get into the playoffs and it's like, oh, it's only going to Barkley or with this and that, like you want to make sure that everyone feels involved because in the moment in the Super Bowl, you might call the play and it's not the play because you guys didn't prepare yourself for the moment properly and you almost overthought it. Like the Seahawks should have a whole nother Super Bowl from that dynasty they had. And you don't want to see Philadelphia fumble the bag because this is their dynasty right now.
Yep. But that was a sweet little trickery they did with the tush push and got Saquon wide open.
Oh, they've opened a can design of worms, dude. Everywhere. Get ready.
A tweak. They grabbed the nipple and they tweaked it just a little bit, and it was a gorgeous play.
Right when we got to the point of completely bitching about the tush push, they decide to alter the tush push, and it is guaranteed to work. Now that they've done that, there's no reason for them to not win the whole damn thing again. There really isn't. It is them against everyone else. They are in a league of their own. They run a diamond. They run a diamond on the right side. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to hike the ball. He was even in a stance like he was just going to run it up the middle. He was so leaned forward in a track stance. The ball gets hiked and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go over there with it because you guys can't block those guys and not let him in. It's going to be an easy bucket. Like it's a touchdown. It's over. They're just so far ahead on the schematics of what they can do. And like, they should win again.
Yep, that's probably the best well-rounded team right now. Everybody's going to be chasing them all year, and if they can play not very well an entire game and still come out ahead, they're going to be dangerous because they're going to figure it out and they're going to put a complete game together. And it could be ugly for everyone else, but I mean, give Tampa some credit that they're never out of it. Mm-hmm. So Ibuka breaks off again. I mean, stellar rookie year already.
He's just great.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to them too. I mean, they're going to be right there. If they're, Philly's probably going to be the 1 seed going into it. Mm-hmm. Tampa should be the 2 or the 3. So they're definitely not out of it by any means.
Yep, to cover Philly a little too. They had the 2 pitches for touchdowns that were just completely out of nowhere, right? For the Buccaneers, they had an interception that was on that flea flicker, but it was called back, so that helped. They had the Ibuka that they threaded. They had the long touchdown to Bucky down the left sideline. Laughlin made a 65-yard field goal. I just felt like when I said it, I could hear Philip Rivers, 65!
I will yell in your ear.
I will yell. So that was pretty awesome.
God bless Philip.
But the Baker interception late was bad. I know he was scrambling, but it was, you really wish he would have just clocked it out or went out and you tried another because it wasn't 4th down. It was like, oh man, the momentum they had that they could have done something with it. And their punter early in the game, do you think that he needs to be looking up before he punts the ball because a sack was better? Right? A tackle for loss and turnover is better. I don't know. You'd have to talk with Pat McAfee or somebody, but is it the responsibility of the punter to make an educated decision of this isn't going to be good?
Maybe you start talking your punters into doing the old rugby style to the side, because just
Right?
walking right into the mouth of that front that they have, and it's insane. So you
Yeah.
want to maybe do some rugby punts when you're playing the Eagles, because if you go right into the mouth of where they're attacking at all the time,
Mhm.
they have so much beef in the middle there. It You want to try to escape around the outside just so you can get a kickoff anymore.
Yeah, Philadelphia just feels just like grown ass men. It's rough. It is
Yeah,
really rough to like. It doesn't feel like they'll lose, and eventually they may. But
yeah.
we will continue to monitor that each week.
Hmm.
Um, Going on to the next one, which was kind of a surprising, impressive game. I put the Jags take the 49ers because they are leading the league in takeaways this season. They're on fire, taking the ball
That
away.
defense is insane. I mean, they're did it's like the what was it, the 2018
Yeah,
Jags D or the 2017,
like
whenever they had their AFC Championship run.
they had Ramsey and
Wow.
everybody all firing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was they're number one in turnover margin now.
Yep.
And they had what, three more yesterday? Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Their turnovers were 3-1. It's like,
Yeah.
my goodness, if Trevor Lawrence is taking care of the football, you guys will be fine.
Oh my God, they would be
It's
4-0
fine.
probably. Not even close. They'd be running going away, leading the division.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but they're going to be scary. I think they found their run game again. ETN's thumping.
Mhm.
So I mean, as much as everybody wanted to kind of hit the panic button after old boy had his press conference, so they're freaking out. Duval.
Well,
They were thinking there's no way in hell that Cohen is going to do anything with this team, but
Cohen was
he's
he
doing
was getting
something.
into it with Salah at the end of the
Yeah,
game.
Salah was being a dick, man. What do you think? I
Was
mean,
he?
you're sitting
Was
there
he?
saying,
You
well,
think it was Salah?
yeah, just when you sit there and you're doing interviews and everything, you go to the press, you say, oh, well, they got an elaborate cheating thing, but it's totally, it's within the rules. But it's like they're sitting there trying to say that he's got some elaborate sign stealing thing, like they try to say against Michigan all the time. Everybody says they cheat. It's like, no, they're not. Okay,
Huh?
but he says, well, they got a sign stealing deal that they do, but it's within the rules. Then shut up about it, dude. You're just giving them
Be
bulletin
better.
board material. Yeah, just be like, well, they do a pretty good job anticipating the defense and anticipating what plays we're gonna run.
Would you call
Don't
that
just be like,
scouting?
I would call that scouting.
So let's go out on a limb here. Let's say that Salah is being completely truthful, and Liam Cohen is stealing signs from them, and so that means the 49ers know,
Yeah.
which would mean that they could have dummy signs or start having dummy signs. They could have I don't know. That kind of a break in the middle of a game where they could discuss how they're going to change their sign or something.
You mean accuse the other team of stealing your signs and not change them up?
What?
What? We're going to run the same damn signs even though we think that they know what they are?
This is
What?
the kind of thing that ran the Jets into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
So get ahead of it. Salah is a freaking moron. Change your signs. It's not
Change
that
your
hard.
signs.
Change
It really
them.
isn't hard.
Hey,
Or you can
this
keep them and just run dummy
doesn't
shit.
mean this anymore. This doesn't mean this. It's now it's this,
Well,
and this means this, and
Watch it.
this means this. It's not hard. Move them over one.
Apparently,
hey
it's a
guys,
lot harder than what we think it is.
as long as the defense knows what to freaking do,
Mm-hmm.
call a timeout at the end of the third. Hey, are we good, guys? You're going to have a break where you switch sides. Like, give me a break.
Seriously, and don't they have communication with the D captain? The captain of defense, don't they have the quarterback speaker in his ear?
Yes.
Stop giving them fucking signs.
Stop.
Just tell them.
Look, we're going to be in a 4-3. We're going to blitz here alongside. We're going to play man behind him.
Don't just be like,
don't
do all that.
They'll just steal the deal, the tape. They'll steal this reception. They'll give them an Arby's drive-through.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ! Just enough of that shit. It's just so stupid. So stupid.
At the end of the day, if they're stealing your signs, then if you know it, then you can adjust to that.
If you know it,
Right.
No it.
Or you wait till the end of the game and go, I think they were stealing our signs.
Yeah. And then he tries to go up and shake his hand at the end of the game like he's not going to be pissed at him.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, just
Yeah.
dip. Nope. You could see Cohen just walk right by him. He's like, nope, nope. And then Saleh tries to say something to him. And he's like, keep my fucking name out of your mouth. Just keep my name out of your
Liam
mouth.
Cohen, the one thing I will say is that dude takes no bullshit at all.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance for bullshit. Credit to him
Yep.
for that. Even though I think
I'll give
he's
him that.
he's a little too aggressive and a little too like it's going to cost him games sometimes. He's a no bullshit kind of guy. And honestly, the culture is probably changing. That's how you lead with a culture. And if it's working, then you're playing good football because of it.
It's working. It's working
Yep.
to do well.
Yep. Obviously, ETN you touched. He has burst again. I drafted him in the second round of a fantasy league last year, and he shit the bed, only to now come out and be one of the best running backs in the league. So thank you, Mr. ETN.
Yeah.
The Lawrence to Hunter, when he was in his own end zone, I honestly thought Lawrence it was one of those moments I really did expect Trevor Lawrence to screw it up. I really did. And he threw a laser to Travis Hunter across the middle for like 30 yards. I was not expecting that. What a ball that was. That showed some poise and maturation for Trevor.
Yep. Throw.
Parker Washington, he's kind of an electric player for them. I don't think he's someone we saw come in at all because you saw Thomas Jr. and you got Travis Hunter and you're like talking about they kind of need another receiver and they're going to have to play Travis Hunter on defense. But you have De'Ami Brown and you have Parker Washington who they have some decent weapons on Jacksonville. They're solid.
Yeah, they're solid and their defense is back. So
yep.
that kind of makes I'm sure other Colts fans, it kind of makes your butt pucker just a little bit, saying, man, Houston's down in the shitter, Tennessee's in the shitter. We were kind of hoping Jacksonville would kind of just continue on the path that they were going down last year, but no, they're back and they're fully back. So it looks like it's going to be us and the Jags once again. I hope it just doesn't come down to clown time.
And we don't play them until the end of the year. We play them like week 14 and 17. So that's going to be real dicey, important division games late.
We're going to get PTSD, man.
The 49ers, actually, I think they had 4 turnovers maybe. I think there was 2 fumbles and 2 picks. The Jacksonville, they had 12 penalties, which is amazing considering how they played. That to have 12 penalties, something that you can clean up and be even better. That was impressive for me. The 4th and 3 that I think it was the 49ers, they went for it. Just go for the field goal. I'm so tired of these, like early in the game. Like 3 is too far, in my opinion. Go for the field goal. It's just, But anyway, the last thing I wanted to touch on, or Tonjes looks pretty good. They might be able to go 2 tight end when Kittle's back. And then the last thing, Purdy versus Mac Jones. Is this going to start to be a conversation or not yet?
No, you're giving Purdy too much money right now. You put him out in that field till he goddamn dies. You're doing it. You're doing it. No,
contract,
Mac Jones.
You're gonna, on contract alone, you're going to give him the year for sure.
You're giving him. You're stuck with him for a couple of years. Nobody's going to take that contract. No, if he plays like dog shit and you want to get rid of him, nobody's going to take it on.
Carolina wouldn't take Brock Purdy.
I don't think so. Not for that money. No.
New Orleans?
No, New Orleans ain't got the money to spend, dude.
They would trade Kamara and then they move with some zeros.
No. Okay. I don't think that would happen. No. I just think they made their bed this offseason with Purdy. So they're in it now. So you have to play him until appendages fall off.
I thought he played okay, but he did have some bad decisions too, and maybe it's just Jacksonville's defense.
Yeah, coming off an injury. Yeah, coming off an injury too. His toe's probably still not right, but and then Jacksonville's defense doing what they do. So you can't really fault him. I think he went over 300. So, but I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. It was just not their day.
Yep. Okay. All right, moving on. The next game, the caption I put was I told you. There's the other one. I's clown. Yeah, you
Clown.
clown.
I got clowned.
I
This is
told
bad.
you said the Ravens were going to throttle Kansas City, that Lamar was going to have an all-time game, that it was not going to be close. You were right on the last one.
I was very right, but with the wrong team. That Baltimore defense is
it's that
it's
bad.
just it's no longer scary. It's no longer scary.
Nope.
Nope.
John Harbaugh, it is time for you to fire your defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it might be time.
It's
do
time.
something else with it because I know that they're injured a lot now, and Lamar has a hammy or something up yesterday, but you see people being like, "Oh, Lamar quit on the team." No, that's not something Lamar Jackson would do. I think he's legitimately hurt. So Baltimore is in trouble. I mean, I think it's DEFCON 5 there right now. They're definitely in the red. Something's got to change there. So I think it's definitely a defensive issue. It's not offensive. They're fine. They're fine there. They got everything they need. But when you're getting a less than stellar Kansas City offense, that's not what they were, puts up 37 on you. You give up 38 to Detroit. You give up 40 to Buffalo in week 1. I mean, come on. Nobody is afraid of the Ravens. Nobody's afraid of it. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are probably in their house punching holes in the wall, getting so mad. And you know what? Bring in Ed Reed or Ray Lewis as your D coordinator right now.
As a consultant, at least. Just to fire those guys up and build accountability amongst each other or something.
Yeah. This is twice now. Baltimore's clowned me.
Clowned you, bro.
Twice.
I didn't see that coming. I truly believed Chiefs would win like 24-21 or something. I did not think it was going to be a blowout. I was very worried about Baltimore's D, and that was the exact reason that I knew they probably were not going to pull it out. A year ago, they would have played better and had likely toe of the line to lose. This isn't that same team. They're not built the same.
They say if you can't toe the line, you better finger it.
There you go. Baltimore started the game up 7-0. So they got outscored 37-13 after that.
Yeah, and 7 of that being a garbage Justice Hill run.
Yes, a garbage one. So they had 6 points after the opening drive that actually mattered, which was a couple Tyler Luke field goals, which they did a good job of getting at the half. They got down there in about 30 seconds and got a field goal. I was like, hey, that's a good job. They're staying afloat. They'll get it figured out in the after half. No, they won't.
Yeah.
Butker has missed a field goal in every game this year.
Yep.
And he made like 3 or 4 field goals and they throttled them. I thought that the Chiefs defense was awesome. To be
fair, they look like their defense of old from last year and the year before.
They brought a linebacker down looking as he was rushing with their 4 a lot of times, but he was truly a quarterback spy. So he was waiting to see where Lamar would go. He wasn't engaging with the lineman, but he was close enough to be shaded. But he was staying off the lineman so he could take off left or right and go after Lamar. And they came in with an excellent game plan. Kudos to Spagnuolo. When they didn't do that, they blitzed the shit out of Lamar. I mean, kudos.
I think the league has finally tuned in Baltimore's offense, and I mean, there's going to be times where Lamar is just going to wow you and come up and pull a rabbit out of his ass. He's that kind of guy. He's that talented.
He's that good. Yes.
But when you constantly have usually like 1 or 2 receivers you depend on all the time, and then the rest of your stuff is running backs and tight ends, you don't have to be too extraordinary on your defense. You just got to kind of play some basic stuff, and you can kind of contain that and then make Lamar beat you with his legs. But right now, Baltimore seems like everybody's got the blueprint now, and everybody can see, look, we're not afraid of your defense. We're going to hang 30 on you. Are you going to be able to hang 30 on us? And right now, no.
It feels like the Chiefs spent the whole week preparing on defense. because they're like, we're going to score.
Yeah, they knew it. They had
We're on
nothing to
field.
be afraid of. Patrick
No.
looked as comfortable as he's ever been, and probably the best he's looked in a couple years. Had a great game.
Mhm. Yeah. They went 4 for 4 on 4th down. So not even on 4th down could the Ravens get them off the damn
Yep.
field.
Ain't scared. They ain't scared. They have that. They're not threatening anymore. People used to be afraid of the purple and black, but
Yeah.
they're not anymore. It's turned into a Charmin soft defense, man, and it's sad.
And I think on offense, one of the things that you get figured out, if you're playing running backs heavy and you're going 2 tight ends sometimes, you're actually letting linebackers stay in the game. You're allowing the other team to not have to go nickel or even dime. And so they're able to stay bigger, and you're not going to be able to run. You have that possibility that's if they execute well on defense, they're going to be able to stop you. You have to be more than one dimensional. For the Ravens, they need to be able to go into a spread and be able to kick ass that way too, because if not, we are always going to look at the Baltimore Ravens as a team that can get this far and they can't get over the hump.
Yeah. And when was the last time you looked at Baltimore and said they can't run the ball? They can't.
They can't run the ball when the other team's not afraid of their passing. Like
Yeah.
for the Ravens, they'll get 4 touchdowns for 170 passing yards, which really just means that they cannot really air it out. They can use it as a complement on occasion in their red zone, but generally they cannot really air it out. So now you aren't going to worry about their spreading you out. You're going to box up. If you can quarterback spy them because you're that convinced of your own man coverage and your own zones that you're running behind it, then you're probably going to beat the Baltimore Ravens because their defense is far too poor at this point right now.
Yep.
So they better figure it out. Like we said, we called it weeks ago. Great answer from John Harbaugh today when he immediately said that Lamar would not have come back in the game even if it was close, to expel the idea that he was like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, talking heads are going to talk, though. Everybody's going to say that they know how Lamar felt. No, the fuck you don't. Shut up. Only Lamar knows what was going on between his ears, man. Just shut up.
Yep. And Lamar doesn't, when he makes a bad play, he doesn't get as mad than the way he got in that game for me, which was more like, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
To me, that emotion was, I'm hurt.
I'm hurt and I can't be out there, He knew it. So leave him alone. He needs to heal big time. I mean, it sucks. They're going to be even more one-dimensional now, I think, with Cooper Rush probably going to have to play a game or two at least. But he's proven he can play. Maybe he gets DeAndre Hopkins involved more. Maybe he gets Rashad Bateman involved more. But
maybe
it can be a scary time in Baltimore right now.
We on the show last week, we even said that 2-6 could be in their future, and that people would start to really panic about Harbaugh and just the whole thing. That really looks like it could be a possibility.
Yeah. How delusional do we sound now?
You heard it here first on the J&K show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next game, kind of a crap game, but not so crap. Did the Bears win, or did the Raiders lose the game?
Well, the Bears won, but
you know what I'm asking.
I know. I know. The Bears won. The Bears won the game.
Yes,
but I think the Raiders didn't play to win. I think they were very, very, very. It's the complaint that we had when the Colts were playing the Broncos at the end of the game. It's like you're being too conservative. You're not trying to get the ball down the field and maybe get it in the end zone and give Carlson maybe a 40-some yard field goal instead of a 54. So you want to try to drive the ball a little bit further down the field and be a little bit more aggressive, But from what we saw yesterday, as bad as the Bears were in the first half, that second half when Ben Johnson was staring lasers through that poor lady, but she asked a stupid question. So I can't blame Ben Johnson, but maybe that's what lit a fire on him because he's like, we're going to be better. We're going to do better. And they were, granted, Caleb Williams, give him some credit. He played a lot better in the second half, but that game was it seemed like a good old 80s defensive clash.
Yes.
It was just one of those where just muscle on muscle, big meaty men slapping meat, just doing their thing. And it was like some old school, like a Bears Raiders games from the late 70s, early 80s.
Yes.
But again, that crowd was probably 60% Bears fans, man. It was insane. The Bears fans were a lot louder. And it's like,
yeah,
do we have like a Las Vegas Chargers thing going on here?
probably.
Where
I think so.
Now the Chargers and the Raiders are playing 17 road games a year.
The Vegas is a destination city. It's not an inhabitant type of city. You're not going to have a lot of locals there that are huge Raiders fan. They're new. You're going to have a lot of traveling fans because of what your city is. I mean, that's the downside is when are you getting a Super Bowl in Vegas? When are you going to build a team that everyone's super excited about and all like
well, they got back-to-back WrestleMania, so hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We'll be there later in the year, everyone. Don't you worry. Not at WrestleMania, because no.
No, hell no.
But anyway, I also agree. I think the Raiders lost the game. You had 100 and some yards out of Janey.
Yeah.
Here he is. Here he is.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns and everything. I mean, it was his breakout game.
Gino was kind of crap, man.
Yeah.
Something is
if it's
like
not garbage time, man, Gino is just not. He's not the guy this year. He hasn't been the same. It's like if you're garbage time and your opponent is playing that basic bitch defense, he'll light you up when they're already down 25. But trying to go down and win that game, Gino's not the guy that's going to go down there and get you a game-winning drive. It just, I don't know what they were trying to do, but they didn't push the ball down the field. And then give the Bears credit, they blocked that shit.
Yeah. So Gino, he threw an early pick. He threw 3 total. I think they were all in the first half. Yeah. We are starting to see the trend. The Raiders continue to bury themselves early. What's unbelievable is I think they were winning early in the game.
Oh yeah,
which just tells me that the Raiders are just a complete mess all the way around. So I'm going to be the first to say it here on the J&K show. Max Crosby, it's time to demand a trade. You, like Kamara, you do not deserve to stay on a bad football team when you are so talented in your prime. He batted a ball himself and picked it off and looked amazing doing it. He's so damn good, and he deserves to be traded to a team ready to have a shot at winning and being that team's guy for the next 3 or 4 years as one of the key pieces. He doesn't deserve to stay in the Raiders and be this great big fish, small pond afterthought. Oh. That's ridiculous.
I agree. He's definitely being wasted in Vegas. I would like to see him go somewhere. Maybe you can, if you're Dallas, maybe be like, we'll throw you those 2 number 1s that we got and send them there. Now. Fix it right now.
You tell me that Vegas might not jump at that?
I think they would. I mean,
I think they might, especially if Crosby says, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, and maybe they could turn Dallas. Maybe they finish middle of the pack, so you're going to get 3 picks in the first round there. Come on, man.
And that's how you are going to fix this Raiders thing. It's going to be the whole deal. My other point I was making was Pete Carroll. Would he trade for Russell Wilson?
Gross.
I'm
just one word. Gross.
I agree. I don't know. Do you think the Raiders should try to trade for a young QB and be in that same boat that the who was it we were talking about? Carolina. I feel like they're in the same boat. They might have the wrong quarterback. I like Geno, but I think he leads the league in interceptions. He really is truly playing poorly right now, which really is sad. You bring in a Jameis or someone to compete with him or be able to play in a few weeks because your options are Aiden O'Connell, and that is not an option. You're going Geno all year if that's the case.
Yep, you're going to try
He's liable to have like 30 picks.
Yeah, there's going to be a Jameis Winston 30 touchdown, 30 pick kind of year.
He's on pace for at least 30 picks right now.
Yep.
So
It's not good. It's not working. And when you got Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker and Brock Bowers, you shouldn't be doing that.
No, and you have JT and who's their other? You have Mostert. You have guys that you can throw safe things to, and they can make you little plays. At worst, you should be the team that's not able to move the ball, not the team that's turning it over and blowing your lead against the Bears. You can't be that team. Oh, all right. And the last game, which was an unbelievable Sunday night football game, they really, after the Micah Parsons trade, and we get a week 4 matchup, the fitting title for this was that they officially tied the knot, bud. The Packers and the Cowboys, they tied the knot, bud. They got them old-fashioned married last night because they are now married together with a tie for the rest of the season.
Good. That was good. I think bad clock management there at the end. But the one thing, George Pickens stepped up. That was really nice to see. But my thing, Jalen Tolbert catch on the sideline. That's their payback from the playoff game where Rodgers hit their old tight end. I don't remember his name right now, but hit them
Jermichael
right there
Finley?
on the side. Jermichael Finley, maybe. But
I know who you're talking about.
Hit him right there on the side. The exact same kind of catch too. It was unbelievable. And what I didn't like was watching CeeDee Lamb jump and celebrate. It's like,
wait a minute, he's got a broken ankle.
Stay on the ground, dude. Stay on the ground. And I bet you Jerry probably had a conversation with him after the game. We don't have you jumping around there.
He was like, What you doing over there?
What do you do? Stay on the ground. But yeah, it was nice to see Dallas. Dallas put in a hell of an effort, man. It looked really ugly in the first quarter. It looked like it was going to be another Green Bay blowout in Dallas. But Dak kicked ass, man, and they got whatever cobwebs were in the pipes cleaned out for sure. They look like they can ball with some people this year. So maybe they build on it. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. But I don't know.
Their defense still allowed 40. That's
the Packers.
That's a problem. that's a problem.
Yeah.
Green Bay scored 10 on Cleveland last week, so it's a problem.
It's a problem.
The bright spots, I feel like Green Bay had complete control of the game early. Complete.
Yep.
And then they block an extra point and they take it for 2. One of those obscure,
that's where the momentum went.
Obscure moments. But that's when the momentum hit because they got that jitter stuff out of their system. And then with 41 seconds left, they get 10 points because LaFleur wouldn't cram it up his own cram hole and go to the half. He decides that they have to go with 40 seconds and try to get some points. And they throw an errant pass and then give the Dallas Cowboys more points, which was an immediate Pickens touchdown.
Yep.
And it's like, you stupids. So Green Bay, they shouldn't have lost, really. If they played a little more within themselves, they kind of pressed a little too much, I thought.
Yep.
Let's see. They got lit up on the punt. That one dude, what was his name? Golden. He has that unbelievable catch where the 2 guys ran the same route, and he caught the one. And you're like, oh, wow. Like the very next drive, there's a punt. And when he catches it, I can't tell you how depleted he was. Like, I haven't seen a depleted punt return like that in a while. Usually that's more of a college one. That was bad.
Yeah.
I thought that he was going to be very injured.
Mm-hmm. It looked like it could have been trouble, but he got up, to his credit.
Yeah. Again, Pickens was awesome. Dobbs with a hat trick.
Yeah. And he had the biggest head on the field too. It just looked like that Guardian cap is like this big.
Yes.
It was kind of funny.
And the last thing to note on was the 43-43 Raiders and Boston Patriots. 1964 is the highest tie of all time.
Look at that stat for you at the end of the show. Good job, bud. Good job.
Yep.
That was nice.
Thank you guys for joining the J and K show. We went through a lot. You continue to enjoy the Monday Night Football games. We will. And we will see you guys tomorrow evening. Sound good?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Signing off. See ya.